Hello and welcome to the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week number 23 with me, Craig Barton. Now this, I must confess, is one of my favourite resources that I've ever come across on the TES, and that's saying something because there's been some absolutely wonderful ones that I've been lucky enough to observe over the last kind of 3 or 4 years. But this has just got something a bit special about it. And what that is, firstly, it covers a topic that I really don't like teaching, and that's speed, distance, time. And there's something about it that the students really struggle with understanding. I think it's something to do with the different units and struggling to kind of put it into context that the kids struggle with. But far more important than that is the message that underlines this resource. The maths of texting while driving. It's a huge problem. It really worries me, especially my sixth formers, when I see them in the cars. They're on their phones left, right and centre. And it's one of those things that you can say to kids left, right and centre, don't do this, but it needs to be tackled in an appropriate and an engaging way. And I think this resource does exactly that. It's been uploaded by Chris Smith, who's been kind of guilty of uploading some of my favourite resources over the last few years, and here's another one. So yeah, certainly check out Chris's other resources because there's some wonderful stuff on there. So it's a PDF, and if I just crack it open here, you'll see this is it. And it starts off with just a little kind of 5 true or false questions just to put the lesson into context and get the kids thinking, and that'll go down well as a nice little discussion activity and some very interesting facts there. But this is where it really kicks off with the collecting the data. So the kids have to send a text message, texting while driving, lol, whilst the other students, so they're working in pairs, times how long it takes them to send that text. And then comes the maths, because once they've collected that data, and perhaps you could get all the classes' data together and work out an average time to make it a little bit easier, or perhaps an interesting thing would be to take the kind of person who takes the longest to text and the person who takes the shortest to text and compare those 2 times to get the full range of the class. Once they've got those times, they then need to do the calculations to see how far they'll actually travel in a car for the duration of the time it takes them to send the text at 30 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour and 70 miles an hour. And this is the really powerful bit. If it takes 4 seconds to send a text, which you've got to be pretty quick to do it in 4 seconds, at 70 miles an hour they travel the full length of a football pitch, and that really brings it home to the kids, I think. And then there's a video for the kids to watch, which again just really kind of brings it home a bit further. But I think there's even more potential in this resource, and this is what comes on page 2, and it's all these texting and driving statistics, and there's some absolutely shocking ones here, some really eye-opening stats, and then below here are some interesting infographics that have been created professionally about the dangers of texting while driving. But what I'm thinking is, why not get the kids to create some of these infographics themselves, because here are some absolutely wonderful, shocking resources. Give those to the kids and say, right, I want you to design me a poster that's going to really highlight the dangers of texting whilst driving. Perhaps pick the 3 of those stats that you think are the most shocking and get me some kind of poster on there. And if you think what the kids are doing there, obviously it's kind of appealing to their creativity skills and their literacy skills. But far more than that, it's something that I'm very much an advocate of, and that's showing that statistics can be really powerful if presented in an engaging and accessible way. And what better way to do that than to throw it over to the kids and say, right, I want you to create me something that really brings these stats that mean something to you, it really brings them home and illustrates how important they are. And I think that will be an absolutely wonderful project. We've got data coming up with our year 9s in the next couple of weeks, and this is going to be the kind of focus point of this, and I'm absolutely fascinated to see what they come up with. So there it is. It's a resource that can tackle speed, distance, time. It's a resource that can kind of get data collection and data presentation and processing sorted as well. It's a resource that can help kids see the kind of power of statistics and get them doing a bit of cross-curricular work as well. But far more important than all of that, of course, is it's a resource that actually matters, because it tackles a topic that's important and that's having an absolutely devastating effect on especially young people. So absolutely wonderful resource there. Yeah, and it's just the amount of quality stuff on TES these days is absolutely frightening, and there's another one. And I'll be back, hopefully, if I can dig another high quality resource out, I'll be back with one next week. Take care, and bye for now.